From May until November of 2025, I was living in Penang, Sabah, Malaysian Borneo. I was there as an intern through the University of Victoria's CAPI program, the Centre for Asian Pacific Initiatives, working with the Democratic Action Party, DAP, under YB Jani Lassenbach. Much of the work centered on listening, meeting with residents, hearing their concerns, and finding ways to turn those conversations into action. In Sabah, politics lives in ordinary places. Under tin roofs during afternoon meetings, at roadside coffee shops, and passing conversation that carried more honesty than formal speeches ever could. With the election expected in late November, there was a quiet momentum brewing, just steady woven into the rhythm of daily life. My boss and friend, YB Jani Lassenbach, is one of the most driven people I have ever met. She moves quickly from place to place, meetings, community visits, campaign planning, rarely still for a second. But what stood out wasn't just her work ethic, it was the way she carried it all. She was sharp, quick-witted, and deeply intelligent, packed into a small frame that never needed to demand attention in order to hold it. And when things turned serious, there was no mistaking her resolve. She had backbone and she had clarity. She could make a room laugh at one moment, and the next remind everyone exactly why the work mattered. But more than anything, her politics were rooted in Sabah itself. In Penang, culture and politics are never far apart. Language, land, tradition, they aren't background details. They are part of the political landscape. Sabah itself is politically complicated, not in a distant, abstract way, but up close, where it actually lives. Coalition shifts, loyalties bend, and just when you think you've got a handle on who's aligned with who, something changes. It's the kind of political landscape that resists being neatly explained. But underneath all of that, there is something distinctly Sabahan, a shared identity that runs deeper than party lines could ever. Political disagreements here aren't subtle, they're direct. You see it in the street, and in the way people speak about what's at stake. And yet, it rarely breaks the sense of community, because just beneath it, there's still a recognition of place, of culture, of each other. For what was essentially a municipal-sized constituency, the scale of competition was almost surreal. 13 different parties contested the seat. Campaigns stretched across kampung's or villages, neighborhoods, and community halls, and every conversation seemed to carry weight. But despite Jani's commitment to the people of Penang, the result ultimately went to a strong opposition party, Warsan. Looking back, that moment says more about Sabah than results ever could. The politics here can be intense, messy, unpredictable, and sometimes unforgiving. But dignity still matters, and so does character. And sometimes leadership is revealed just as clearly in defeat as it is in victory. Because the first instinct, Jani, and my dearest friend MJ, and the rest of the DAP team, wasn't to dwell on the loss. It was to move, to ask what people needed and how fast they could respond.
In an ideal world, peace looks like surrender. Surrender that you cannot control everything, but knowing that I've said this before, everything has a season. Everything that has happened has a season. It's not always going to stay that way, and even the bad things will come to pass. So always be hopeful, keep the faith that things gonna get better. It's gonna be dark before the sunrise, and it's gonna be like that. It's a cycle. It won't be happening like once. It's gonna be over and over and over. But just know that things pass. I think the Sabahans really do have light in them, because you see, like after a hard work, people in the ancient time, like after hard work, they like to sit around, gather in community and drink together. So I think it's our way of life to be together, drink together, have aramai tea together after the harvesting time. So I think, yeah, that actually become our way of life. So people of Sabahan really do have light in them. They can face hardship, then after that, just go aramai tea.
Just want to see what the first poke feels like, and that'll determine the ball making.
Vaseline dulu.
Oh, ankle boy.